Congressman Mac Thornberry of Texas is the chairman of the House Armed Services Committee. He's joining us right now. Mr. Chairman, thanks very much for coming in.
Sure. You're welcome.
Do you believe that as a result of the bulk data collection program being suspended, at least for now, the American public is less safe right now than it was, 24 hours ago before that midnight deadline last night?
Yeah, I think we are. It would be hard to quantify how much difference that 24 hours has made, but I think we are less safe. And what's more, I think we're less safe today than we were 4 or 5 years ago, because we have increasingly been tying our own hands, limiting our ability to gather information, and that is the key way that we find out about and stop terrorist attacks.
So you totally disagree with Senator Rand Paul?
Yeah, and I think it is wrong for anyone to play politics with national security, whether you're a senator running for president or whether you're the president. And I'm reminded that President Obama threatened to veto a defense bill that came out of our committee 60-2 because he wanted to use that as leverage to increase spending on EPA, IRS, and other domestic issues. Both ways of playing politics with defense are wrong.
Don't you think, though, that Senator Rand Paul is sincere, that he really believes this is a violation of of Americans' privacy?
I have no doubt. I can't know what's going on inside his brain. I think it is disturbing, as I read press reports today, that there were fundraising appeals going on at the same time that he was making these speeches on the Senate floor. So regardless of motivations, the result is that I think we have lost a critical capability now. Hopefully we'll get it back in the next day or two. But we're somewhat less safe today than we were.
Let's talk about what's going on in Qatar right now, because as you know, that year-long detention of those 5 Taliban prisoners who the U.S. released from the Guantanamo Bay in Cuba, the prison there, in exchange for Sergeant Bo Bergdahl's release, that is now over. Apparently, there's been a temporary extension keeping these 5 Taliban guys in Qatar, at least for now. What's the latest? What are you hearing? Because I know you're very concerned about the possibility they could go back to Afghanistan or Pakistan and resume their war against the United States.
Yeah, I am very concerned, and the only thing that I know is what I read in the newspapers. Remember, this is the case where the administration violated 2 laws to release these guys by not informing Congress to begin with. These were folks that did not go through the regular process in Guantanamo to be screened for release. They were never on any potential release list, and yet they were part of the exchange with Bergdahl. So the restrictions on their travel have expired. I read that there are continuing to have discussions about maybe a 6-month extension of those restrictions, but I don't know. I do think these are bad guys, and they pose also a danger to the United States.
But you're the chairman of the House Armed Services Committee, Mr. Chairman. When you say you don't know what the plan is, you call up the Pentagon, you ask them, right? Aren't they supposed to be briefing you on what's going on?
Yeah, and we have asked the question, and we don't know the answer. Part of the problem here, of course, is it's not just the Pentagon calling the shots, it's the White House. And remember, this is the issue that we have had to put some provisions in our defense bill to require the Pentagon to give us the documents that we've asked for, or else they don't get all the money that they've asked for. So it's been like pulling teeth to get information out of the Pentagon and other executive agencies about this whole episode. And it has not gotten better in recent days as far as the negotiations for continuing these restrictions.
Well, when you say they broke the law by releasing these 5 prisoners, what have you done about it? What are you doing about it? If somebody breaks the law, they got to pay a price, right?
Well, they should, and that's why we have 25% of the money going to the Secretary of Defense's office fenced off, asking for more information. But we also have changed the law. We have toughened up the law, making it more difficult for this administration to release folks because of what they've done. So we have reacted, and, it would be a much better path for everyone if the administration would engage and discuss this with us rather than requiring us to force the information out of them.
Mr. Chairman, I want you to stand by because there are several questions I have about what's going on in Iraq right now, including this war against ISIS. Much more with the chairman of the House Armed Services Committee, Mac Thornberry, right after this.